Might be my imagination, but I think I'm seeing longer battery life with this new lens. It could be that the autofocus motor in the old lens was drawing lots of current, because maybe it was jammed or something, and flattening the battery quicker. Time will tell. I brought the small SSD over here to put into the DVR to replace the 3.5 inch drive to see if that makes a difference. If that makes no difference, I'll have to bring over the larger monitor, the HDMI connected monitor. In the meantime, before I get started on that, I'm going to go and get the pressure accumulator drain process underway. Incubator's been digging in this garden this morning. Came back hot and sweaty. No surprise. But yeah, the chilies were stuffed, so she's planting new stuff apparently. Looks like we've got a ripening papaya there. I wonder how soon I'll get to taste that one. Well, changing the HDD to an SSD made absolutely zero difference. So, see what else I can do. Trouble with buying this stuff off Shopee, it's just going to be too hard to say, oh, it was DOA. But given it cost about $43, I can't get too upset. Might just get another one of a different brand. I think my best bet at this point is to bring over the other monitor, but I suspect that's not going to work either. I think this might be just a DOA DVR. Bugger. But before I go over for that monitor, I'll finish up with my draining process here. Well, that didn't work. The screen says no cable connected, so I'm going to grab a different HDMI cable, and I'm also going to grab a CR2032 coin cell, because there's one on the board on this that might be flat. But beyond that, it's starting to look like the device might be no good. That may have been progress, I don't know. With the short HDMI cable I get no cable connected. With the 7 meter cable I get no signal detected, so it seizes the cable, and I'm still not getting anything from the DVR itself, even though it's got lights on it's got the life indicator on the front and the green lead on the motherboard, but I think it's time to replace that coin cell battery and see what happens. Well, I've come to the conclusion, it's a dud. There's no more connections I can reseat on there that would do anything. There's replacement CR2032 CMOS battery in there. I've tried different SSDs, I've actually tried different power supplies on it, and nothing works. So I think go back to Shopee and try for another one. Yeah, well, now that I've disconnected that device, it says no cable connected, so it was definitely seen as a cable connected to it. As I said, back to Shopee. I really am convinced the battery life is much longer on this camera now with this new lens. Yeah, so on the top down there, that's the one that just wouldn't work. Can I get focus better than that? Yeah, so I ordered another one, same sort of specs but different make and manufacture, $42. So we'll see how we go. My silicone sealant's come in, so I can start cutting bits of plastic to stick around that door. I thought that since I might be over here for a while, I'll get the sump pump running to pump out the service pit. That'll hopefully run for a while. Can't quite see how much is in there now that the top is covered with all these things, but that's okay. I'm sure there's plenty in there. Well, I got the first piece up there, which you may or may not be able to discern, just covering this first section. So another one on top, then the sides. So I guess I'm about a sixth of the way there, and I'm melting down, so it's time to head back and cool down again. Well, Sunday morning, so I should go and do the weekly maintenance run on the genset, and while that's running I'll continue with the plastic surround for that front door. Well, I'm making good progress. I've got the top along that covered now, all the way along, and all down this side. So that leaves the strip stuck to this top rail up here, going up to meet the one that's across the top, and then the strip down that side there. And that should do the job. But then of course there's that gap there. I've seen sparrows go inside that enclosure. So on the inside here at the top, I'll stick a strip sticking down just to cover that gap. As you can see, 9:17, 28 degrees, 70% humidity, a little bit of exercise, and I'm hot and sweaty, so I'm back to the lounge room to cool down for a while. I come back over to the shed after lunch thinking I'll continue on my task, but now I see a new problem. The float valve up here appears to not be working. I'll go and get a ladder and turn off that top valve up there. Well, I've got most of this done now using the scrap bits of plastic I had. So I've got a piece going up nearly to the top, so that side's closed in across there, and a piece there, thicker piece that I could use for the side here to cut in half. So I'm just missing a piece now between there and there, and that's the one that's got to allow for this handle. So I've had ideas on what to do about that, but I'm going to have to cut a piece off that roll to do that, and that's for another day because I'm reaching meltdown. Well, I got the last piece put in to close off that side, and also slip strips across the back of this on the inside to close off that gap, and it's currently a sparrow trapped in the top there. I suspect that I might have closed off their exit points. Haha, they'll starve. No sympathy. Yeah, so on to the next thing. At 10:03 on Sunday morning I ordered a replacement DVR, and Monday evening it arrived, so I shall now have another go, see how I go with this one. Well, this is promising. I've turned it on without even putting a drive in it, just to see what will happen, and at least we're powering up, we see something on the screen. So I think that I take that to mean I should put a drive in it. No available storage for recording. Yep, well, I'll fix that. Okay, well, good. Righto, I shall shut it down again and bung a drive in it. Now we have tiny little boards in them. The thing I like about this one is the CMOS battery. It's in a vertical holder, which was going to make it so much easier to change that. I'll change the other one. On Sunday it was a bugger to get out. So I like that. Oh, I've got a drive in it. Well, there you go, it works. So that top left quadrant is the view from that camera peering up at the ceiling. So yeah, just got to get some time from son-in-law or stepson to mount that camera up on the west end of the shed. I'll put the cover back on that and go on to the next thing. Guess that means I can lug this big screen back to the house. Oh goody. I'm starting to warm up. It's all of 9:33 AM, 28 degrees, 80% humidity. Whoa! I turned on the lower valve when I came over here first thing this morning, and the tank hasn't overflowed, so I went and got Azra and got him to turn on the top valve, and he went and played with the ball valve inside, so we'll see if it overflows. It might be okay now. Might have just needed reseating in the float valve. And before I bother Dadang or Azra about swapping cameras at the west end there, I've got to fabricate that new mount. Forgot about that. Maybe I'll come back this afternoon and have a go at that. Well, I've been over here at the shed for a while, and this is how far I've got with my camera mount. The idea is that this bit here bolts on, and this hangs on this one bolt, so that hopefully it will self-level, and when it's bolted down, so I'll stick a bit of silicone sealer behind it to keep it stuck there in the right position. But come to a halt because my batteries for my Ryobi power tools, I think I've got 2 that are semi-functional out of 5. The others are pretty much giving up the ghost, so I'm hanging out for my next visitors to come and bring me some new batteries. Can't get Ryobi in here in Indonesia, so I got to wait for batteries to charge, and I want to go back and cool off anyway. Well, the batteries had a few hours to charge up, and I then managed to cut off the bulk of the material, just kind of round off the end up there a bit. But to do that, I've got to reposition it, and it's too damn hot at the moment to do that, so I'm going to call it a day. Come back and do it tomorrow. Well, I cleaned up this mount and hit it with some rubberized anti-rust undercoat stuff, and I'd actually washed the surface using the sort of the orange oil cleaner stuff, which is good for getting off all the sticky labels and things. Then I washed it off with water, and I thought, well, I better get rid of the water, so I then hit it with a gas torch just to drive the water off. Of course, that was still warm enough when I hit it with a spray that the undercoat actually boiled a bit. So when I have another go at it tomorrow, I might be able to clean that a bit better. Then I've got to look at what paint I'm going to use for a top coat, because I only have some fluorescent top coats. Ideally I'd have white, but I have fluorescent green and fluorescent pink, so what the hell, pink? Why not? Anyway, I'm getting hot. It's not sunny and there was thunder, so I think we're going to get some potentially interesting weather. I've been pumping out the pit a bit, which is why there's water lying out here at the moment. But I'm going to pack this up and put it inside and go back to my nice cool lounge room. It's already Thursday, another week is flashing by. I need to go over and drain the pressure accumulator and give the camera mount another coat of undercoat. Well, I set this to drain, then we gave the camera mount another spray of paint. I'll come back, this is dry now, so I can get all this back into action, and I've got the service pit pump running to drain that at the moment. And bunches of bananas are growing nicely here, so no doubt we'll see some more of those in the house at some stage. The jackfruit's putting out new leaves, so it's still growing happily. And yes, there's lots of papaya on the trees yet. and it's getting hot. Well, the crop has a bug problem. This is not good. Hopefully it's not too widespread. But yeah, that's bug infestation. Well, the bracket has had its first coat of green, so give it a couple more. It's not too bright and laid down over black. If it had a white undercoat, it might have been much brighter. But colour doesn't actually matter, it's just to protect it from rust. Anyway, it's Friday, so I need to do another upload. Jabita's just gone off to Palembang with Jadang to get some money out of the bank for our road trip to Jakarta next Tuesday. I'm going to go back for the 3-week follow-up on my cataract surgery. That's all going well. But I think I still have my toothache problem. Had medicine from the doctor for the last week to help with that. Now the medicine's run out, so I'll probably be back to the doctor before this time next week. But we'll see.